Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Get Candid Podcast. I'm your host, Raven Joseph, educator, mentor, Writing to Heal instructor, and life coach. I'm also the owner of Candid Soul Company. I serve women of color with coaching services as well as provide wellness products from resources of personal development, self-love, and self-care, and my famous candles, Candid Soul candles. I've been making them for the last 2 years, since 2020, and they're available on my website, www.candidsoulco.com. I love making candles. I make them by hand. They're soy wax candles, beautiful scented with affirmations. I started to make these because it was a form of relaxation for myself as well as a form of encouragement for those around me. So if you look at my site, you'll see that there are affirmations on each candle. There's a message of encouragement to my women community. And this episode of Get Candid podcast does stem from the idea of authenticity and being true to yourself, which is a motto of Candid Soul Company. I'm going to talk about why it's so important for us to stop caring about what other people think. The first thing I want to do with you is share an assessment that I created, and it's just pretty much a checklist about signs that we care way too much about what other people are thinking. If you think that this episode resonates with you or may resonate with someone else that you know, please share. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know what you think. What are some things I might have missed on the list of things? These are the things that came to mind when I was thinking about the signs that we care way too much about what other people think. So get ready to either count on your fingers or write down like some tally marks to see whether or not this applies to you. Number 1, you care about what others on the internet think of you. Number 2, you lie in order to please those around you. Number 3, you are indecisive and you're constantly doubting yourself. Number 4, you do not set boundaries and you're afraid to say no. Number 5, you're always playing victim. Number 6, you don't feel comfortable being yourself around people. Number 7, you're constantly apologizing. Number 8, you aim for perfection. Number 9, you're always needing to be affirmed by others. Number 10, you place others on a pedestal. I would say if you have like even 5 of these, then this episode is for you, and I'm glad I can help you. Now I want to go into why we have this desire or this drive or this temptation to look outside of ourselves and care about others' opinions. One is because we want to be accepted. What is it? I learned this in psychology class. It's like the idea that, was it Maslow's hierarchy of needs or something like that? Correct me if I'm wrong. Write in the chat what it's supposed to be. But it's like this desire to belong. That's like a need that we have, is to feel like we belong somewhere. And sometimes we find ourselves doing these things on the list because we want to belong, lying sometimes, not saying no, not setting boundaries because we want to be accepted. And number 2, another reason that we find ourselves looking outside for other people's opinions is because we want to control certain situations. And what I mean by that is we feel the need to control what other people think about us. And if we know what they're thinking, we know what their response might be, their opinions are, we're going to likely mold ourselves into the person other people may think is the way to go, the person to be. And finally, society's influence. The reason why we ask and look for outside validation is because the influence of society, the ads that we see every day and what we see when we're browsing the web, when we're browsing social media, reading our emails and things like that, they kind of tell us who we are if we don't already know who we are. We're easily influenced by the things outside because we want to fit in, because we want to be in control and make sure that everybody likes us, and also because we want to make sure that we fit into society's norms. And I'm here to tell you that is a big no. It's not healthy to do that. And honestly speaking, from my experience of being a people pleaser and trying to like always ask people's opinions before I make a decision for myself, it leads to self-sabotage. It leads to you ruining your own life. So it's nobody else's fault but your own. And I'm saying this to myself. This is what I had to check myself with, because you choose to go and look for outside validation. I'm here to tell you don't have to. And some ways to turn away from always looking for other people's opinions in order to determine the value of your life. One, you need to get to know yourself better. And one of the programs that I have for women is Writing to Heal. It's an in depth look, peeling back the layers of your life, trying to understand who you are so that you can love who you are, know who you are without people's opinions. Get to know you for you. That's number one. That's a process that does not happen overnight, but it's possible. And once you get to know who you are, you're no longer going to find yourself always looking for people's opinions, because you learn to trust yourself. And that leads to number two, is you embracing all of you. As you go through the process of learning who you are going to hit some things that oftentimes we don't want to face about ourselves, because it may be embarrassing. We may be ashamed of those layers of ourselves. We may want to hide those things, but embrace those things because that's your truth. There are people with the same experiences as us. We're not the only people in this world going through the things that we go through. And it's okay for us to embrace our flaws, because once we are able to show compassion for ourselves and embrace those flaws, it's easier for us to address them and let them go and not allow them to pretty much dictate our lives, right? We are in control when we're able to master those emotions, those behaviors, those patterns that we have, the things that we want to change about ourselves. We learn to deal with easier when we're able to embrace what we have that we may feel that's unlovable. Number three goes back to loving yourself, is tackling those limiting beliefs. Ask yourself, and this can be a journal writing prompt for those of you who have not listened to any of my other episodes. I do have an episode, Writing to Heal. It's a system that helps you to address those emotions that you don't understand about yourself through a writing process. And so definitely check it out. I'll put the link in my bio for you to listen in case you want to try this. But definitely ask yourself why you feel that way. Why do you feel the need to always ask people's opinions? For me, I've learned about myself, and I've shared this, that it comes from my childhood and never feeling like I was enough, because my mom was pretty much very strict when it came to expectations. She had high expectations. And also, I shared before that when I was in elementary school, I was a terror. And because I didn't get into one of the honors classes, even at a young age of pre-K kindergarten, I felt like I wasn't enough. And so I felt like I had to change my ways in order to please other people so that they could see me as, and value me and put me in the appropriate class, because they put me in the lower class because I was misbehaving all the time. But I was very smart. So I felt like, those things, and we don't even recognize those things, but writing down has helped me to figure out for myself what I need to focus on, what I need to let go, things that have been holding me back. And just the awareness of who I am is liberating. And I want that for everyone. So one, making sure that you get to know yourself better. Two, embracing your flaws. Three, tackling those challenges, those things that are holding you back by educating yourself and also processing, reflecting on those challenges. Four, stop putting others on a pedestal. When we do that, we take away our power. I am not saying that you cannot honor someone. I'm not saying that you can't show love for someone and, hype someone up. But we are all humans. No one is better than the next. Just because we may have different things in life, or we may be on a different place in our journey, does not make anyone better than you. We're the ones who are living in this space, walking in this journey. It's no one else's but our own. So it's important for you to trust yourself so that you can make your life the happiest for you. And finally, that goes into like living your dreams. The way we can stop asking for people's opinions is letting go of that and knowing that, how can I explain this? The more you ask for people's opinions, the more it takes away from your truth. The more you ask for people's opinions, the more you are molding yourself to others, people's thoughts of you. And that's not the life you want to live. You want to make your dreams come true. You want to live life to the fullest. This life is yours and only yours. So trust yourself, believe in yourself, and chase your dreams. Sometimes when we ask people's opinions about things that we want to try, that we want to do, they may not give you the answer you want to hear. People's opinions are an extension of who they are. They're not an extension of you or how you should be living your life. So live your dream. If you want to go write a book, write a book. If you want to start your business, start your business. If you want to move to another country, move to another country. It is your life. Ultimately, even if you are asking other people of their opinion, it shouldn't be the end all be all. What you think, what you believe, your values are way more important, and they should trump anything that anyone says or feels about what you're doing, how you're doing it. Pray about it. Instead of asking people's opinions and turning left, right, and front and center all the time, looking for all over the place for answers, pray about it. Turn within, figure it out for yourself. I'm telling you, it's a life changer. It's a game changer when you learn to trust yourself. When you learn to trust yourself, you're building the confidence that you didn't even know that you had. You didn't recognize before because you were always like anxious about other people and seeking outside validation. So some advice that I give myself that I've learned over the years and I want to share with you about remembering the importance of not seeking outside validation is definitely remembering your purpose and why we're here. We weren't put on this earth to please other people. We were put on this earth to live to our fullest, whatever that may look like for you. That is why you're here. And so if you're looking for outside validation, you're going to fall short of that. Another word of advice I give myself is I am always in the perfect place at the perfect time. And this stems from my relationship with God. I know that I'm praying in about all areas of my life. And so I'm able to walk forward and do my best all the time. And I know that if I'm off the track, that God is going to redirect me. Developing discernment and knowing when to and when not to take advice, or when to and when not to even ask for advice or the opinions of other people, when to just trust myself and know that I'm just going to do this my way and not care about what other people think. I was having a conversation a few years ago with someone, and they were just like, I was overthinker, so I'm a recovering overthinker, but they were just like, what if that happens? So I was stating my fear, and they were just like, what if that happens? And that gigantic feeling of anxiety that I had turned into a pea size. And it is, what if, like, it's not the end of the world. And I know that I'm protected. I know that I'm safe. And I know that I always land on my feet. So it was just like, really, like, so what if this person doesn't like you because they don't deserve you? You understand? Like, if you see that you're setting boundaries, if you see that you are doing you and people aren't accepting of that, accepting of who you are and the things that you want to do for yourself, then those aren't your people. And it's okay, because once those people start to drop from your life, you don't even have to tell them to leave. Once they start to drop because they don't feel like you are aligned, it's okay, because the people that you are supposed to align with, they're going to come into your life. And I've learned that people sometimes are in your life for a season, and then that is okay. You're going to get judged no matter what. You're going to get judged for the things that you do or not do. Even if you're trying to please someone, you're going to be judged. Even if you're not trying to please someone, you're going to be judged. So just do you and do your best. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know for us, because we may be so like connected to people and their ideas, our family members, our parents, we want to please them and make them happy, that walking away from that relationship or walking away from their values that are not actually your own values can be really hard. If you want the best life for yourself, if you know that you are not living authentically and you want that so bad, that feeling, that desire of being yourself and being who you are and just living liberated is going to trump you trying to please everyone else. Because at the end of the day, you can please somebody today and you do something different, and it's not even intentionally to upset them, and they're not your friend anymore, they don't care about you anymore, they have things to say. So just do you for you, do you for, basically for me, do me for God. It's not about what other people are thinking. And most importantly, assume the best. Sometimes we find ourselves not telling the whole truth because we feel like people are not going to like us, we feel like we're not going to fit into a certain space. Assume that people are going to accept you. Assume that people are going to like you for being who you are. I think a lot of the times we think, because this world is so critical, that we forget that there are kind people. And if you're that kind person, if you exist, then there are other kind people that exist as well. I hope you're able to recognize those signs that you are caring about what other people think of too much. And I hope that me sharing with you ways to get past that and why it's so important really helps you. And if there's something that you do that I haven't mentioned, please email me at getcandid@candidsoulcode.com. I would love to hear from you, some ideas from you about what you think about seeking outside validation. Is this something that you struggle with? If not, or if you don't anymore, what did you do to get over it? Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and also my podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts. I think that's it. There's a whole bunch of them. But if you go to my website, www.candidsoulcode.com, you can also subscribe to my newsletter and get some discounts on my products. I have a new line of candles coming up pretty soon. So if you want in and first dibs, make sure you subscribe. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Take care.